All right, guys. So in this video, we are going to talk about what I call symbolist trading. So all last year, I did this, last 2 years, I did this series on the channel in which I would pick a couple stocks for that week. I would let them trade throughout the week, let the robot take care of them for me. And then I would close them at the end of the week and rinse and repeat. So a lot of people had questions on how I did this. Having the system look at a stock and just trade it automatically. And this is a huge thing that I think that will help out a lot of people. So again, links for trade ideas are in the description below. Helps the channel, and there's a discount code there to save you a few bucks. What are we talking about here? So I call this algo trading for everyone. The first thing to note is that a lot of people think that algo trading means completely quantitative robotic trading, and it doesn't at all. What algo trading or what auto trading means is basically I'm going to teach the system an algorithm, and it's going to trade that algorithm. And that's it. So what are the pros of auto trading? Why do we want to get into auto trading or algo trading? There's really no perfect term for it. But what do you want to get from it? When I tell this to most people, they say, well, I want emotionless trading. I wanted to trade quickly. Speed of execution is important. I'm not very good at inputting the orders myself, something like that. Risk management. A lot of people are like, oh, I struggle on calculating share size, or maybe I don't put out a stop quickly enough, or whatever happens. Risk management's a problem. Robots take care of that perfectly. And then watching many symbols at once. Say you've got a strategy and your strategy output at 10 symbols last night, and you're looking for, you want to watch all of them, or you're a gap trader or whatever. It's hard to watch many symbols at the same time and still get that execution and still have that discipline. So that's something this auto trading, this symbolist trading will help you out immensely. What are the cons of auto trading or algo trading, letting a system take care of it all? Is robots miss context, right? They're not very good at saying, oh, there's a election going on, or there's this, or there's that news event, or maybe the market is skittish, or there's a pandemic going. It's these context things the robot really doesn't get. It looks, if you're doing purely quantitative, it's looking at past data, and then it's looking at current data, and just thinking that the world is the same here as it was here. And in some cases it may be, and in some cases it may not be. So this context, I think, is very important. Very math driven. Some people just not interested in that. Just fine. I'm not going to go too much into that. There's a lot of people who don't like math, so they don't want to get into that kind of trading. Slow to adapt. You're trying to constantly take the data of your trades and what worked and what didn't and adapt those. And the problem is, if you do it too quickly, it's hard to adapt a system very quickly. Last is hard to quantify some action. I like rounded bottoms. Well, how do you quantify something like that? It's kind of a subjective type of a look. And this is where, if you've ever watched any Trade Ideas webinar, you've probably seen this right here. It's one of our most favorite phrases, where we talk about man and machine, and the best combination is both. I personally believe that if you could just beat the number with an algo or math, someone else would do it, and that system would be dried up, right? So this combination of man and machine is a big deal. So then we ask ourselves, well, how are hedge funds set up, right? How does a hedge fund do all of this trading? Just shrink that so you can see that other word there. So a hedge fund basically splits the role of trading into two: portfolio manager and trader. Portfolio manager is the guy that comes up with the idea, does the analysis, figures out the risk management, how this trade would fit into a portfolio, things like this. Then he gives that job to a trader. He says, okay, I want to buy Apple. Over the next week. It's your job to get me the best price over that week. So they split the job into two. And this is the trading style that I'm going to teach you today, is splitting that. So you are the portfolio manager and you leave the robot or the actual trading up to the robot. The benefits you'll get from this, I think, are going to be huge. This is going to be how you do it. But before I get into this, just move me out of the way. Before I get into this, I'm going to talk about the main benefits of it. So what are the main benefits you're going to get out of this style of trading versus any other style of trading? Well, the main one is that you are now the portfolio manager. So your job becomes, I'm going to make ideas. I'm going to understand the market. I'm going to try to figure out what's working in this market, what isn't. Follow the news, follow the charts. You get to build the ideas and kind of come up with all of that together. Now, what are the cons of this? Well, the cons are that if the system kind of doesn't see a stock the way you want it to intraday, there may be some differences there. Again, intraday context it won't get, but you'll be choosing what stocks to trade. Again, I'll show you this from a day trading point of view. This is how I enter my day trades, my swing trades, all of it kind of come from here. So let's go back here. So first it comes with idea generation. However you want to find stocks, right? That's a relevant way to do it. You can find them from chat rooms or Twitter or trade ideas scans, back tested algorithms, whatever your idea comes from, great. Find that idea. Then take your time to run the analysis on that idea. Again, you'll be doing a lot of this work pre or post market, and the robot will be dealing with everything intra-market. So take your time. You have your time to research. You have your time to take a look at the story behind it. You have your time to check all the indicators you use, these type of things. Take your time with that. Then you build a list once you're done your idea generation, your analysis of creating a symbol, trying to figure out what symbols you're interested in. From there, you go right into your entry algorithm, which I'll show you, and then the trade management after that. So let's go into my desktop right here. Let's do it this way. So I'm here. Okay. So this is a simulated account I have right now that I've got trading a specific style I built just for this video. And we're going to kind of go through a bit of that. I'm not going to talk about how I pick the symbols because it's irrelevant for this. I want to show you after you pick the symbols, what do you do? So while you're picking the symbols, you did your scan last night and you said, I think that CAR, which I have in here, if it breaks yesterday's high, it will go up the next day. Fairly simple. Again, how you got that to that doesn't matter. But you get to that point, right? So then you want to add CAR to a symbol list, right? And we just call these inside up. We'll just focus on that. In fact, actually, let's just focus on all of the ones just from inside up. This may turn our P&L red. Okay, it's all simulated. Who cares? So you say, okay, I'm interested in CAR if this happens. Then you can first, under your tools, go to symbol lists and you can create any symbol list you want here. So we'll just create a new symbol list. We'll call it test. And then we will find test, which I already have. And let's just put CAR in there and away you go. So you can add the symbols this way. You can also, if you don't want to do this individual box, you can right click on any symbol, click send to symbol lists, right? You can see all the different symbol lists here. I've got a bunch called test, but we'll just click that and then it just added the symbol to it, right? That's step one. So you're building these symbol lists in the back end. And then I just want you to know that what's happening is in the back end of Trade Ideas and their system, they're combining all of these symbol lists and saying, okay, this is, the symbol list called test. We're only going to look at these symbols and that's it. Then you're looking to build your entry algorithm in which you're going to go build an alert window, because alert windows are the only thing that can be traded through Trade Ideas Brokerage Plus. Again, more education, link if you're interested in this program, always in the description below. I did something simple. I'll show you this one where I just said, I want the stock to be making a new high today. and I want that new high, this position in previous day's range. I have a video on, but it's basically just taking yesterday's candle and it's saying, okay, 100% is the high of yesterday's range and 0% is the low of yesterday's range, so that I can say that between 95 and 105, the settings I have here are saying that our stock has to be making a new high today and it has to be in the top end of yesterday's range. Also, it can't have gapped. That's basically what this thing says. So I don't want the stocks if they gap way up, and I don't want the stocks if they gap way down. I just want, because my analysis last night told me that if CAR breaks yesterday's high, it has a better chance of moving up than moving down or not moving at all. Then we go over to the symbol list and we find that symbol list right there, where we find that symbol list of the one that we've built, and we click it, and you can see on the top there's some options here, but we want to click only the following list. So now when we save this alert window right here is only looking at that symbol list that I created last night, or this morning. Say you wanted to create a gap list and you wanted the gaps to trigger if this, and this occurred. Same, regardless of your trading setup, this walkthrough part will be the exact same, trust me. So we have this list, we threw it into the system, we say, hey, we're interested in this list if blah, 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 blah occurs, right? So we have that together, and now it's time to just add it to the system. So inside up, we've added to the system. Again, an intro to Brokerage Plus is on my channel as well. Links will be in the description below. I'm not going to waste the time going through all the setup, but what we do is we load this alert window into Brokerage Plus, and then we start to wrap rules around it. So for example, I want it to sit at the first 5 minutes of the day. If it goes without me in that 5 minutes, I'm fine. I really just don't want to be chopped around. How many orders you want it to send on any given days. Maybe you made a list of 50 stocks, but you only want to take the first 3. You would say, I want to stop filling after the first 3 trades. Away you go. Order details, this is more about how you want to get in. Again, I'm not going to go through a lot of this. This will be on the intro to Brokerage Plus video here. Risk management, I have built a little algo that I want to say, well, my stop is going to go at yesterday's low. So my algo says, I want you to take out yesterday's high, and I want you to put the stop at yesterday's low. And then under hold time, I want you to hold until the end of the day and then exit. And once you know the setup now, you can see how fairly simple it is, but really just take some time and think about what I've said in this video, because think of all of the things you could apply it to. You could apply it to your swing trades and say, I want you to watch this list of stocks for a swing trade. If it does this, take the trade. You're in without having to think about it. You could apply it to day trades the way I have, where I scan the night before. I come up with a handful of day trades. I put them in the system to be broken out the next day, and then we go from there. You could also, for example, say, I'm interested in long-term moves, or say I want to watch a series of stock, but I think there's going to be a news announcement, so I'm just going to have it watch those stocks, and only when there's an explosion in volume, then I want you to buy in. Basically what you're doing is you're taking the quantitative side of auto trading out of it. You're doing the analysis instead of a robot's doing an analysis, and you're leaving the execution side to the robot. So who is this for, right? This is for the guy who finds himself that he picks the stocks well. He finds that he comes up with the game plan around what's going to move next. He comes up with he understands all of these intermarket mechanics and technical analysis. He's got a trading setup that he wants, but what he lacks is the ability to execute, either through emotional problems, emotional with the market, with timing, right? Maybe they have a job, something like this. Maybe they just don't want to, right? They find, like someone like myself who finds that the robot does it better than I do. So why not give it to them, where I can then use my time during the trading day to do other things, knowing that this is taken care of for me, and then I can review and deal with it at the end of the day. So that's mainly who it's for. Who it's not for is somebody who just wants to turn on a system and let it run. If you want to do that, you have to put in the work of building the back end of that system with the back test and everything as well. Again, this is more for the guy who doesn't want a system to run everything, just doesn't want to do the execution. So I hope that helps. Very exciting. Again, it's how I enter most of my trading now, is just by this complete automated system. It just helps me with my issues, which are more over trading and revenge trading. I don't have to think about them. The symbols are in the system. If they do something that meets that criteria, they'll be triggered. If not, just move on to the next day with a new symbol list. So again, I hope that helps, and links for this product and how you use it and its ability to trade through your interactive brokers, your TD Ameritrade, and your E-Trade account. Links are in the description below.